All right,
All
awesome.
right.
Send it.
Woo. It's live, man. We're there. We're doing it.
All right.
The
Beast
Travii
mode.
Collective. Yeah, beast mode, man. We are beast mode. That's right. Cornhusker beast mode. Exactly. So, hey guys, what's going on? It's hit or miss. Travii Collective has stolen the show. Caliber Corner edition. I'm just kidding, man. Night Strike is a mad scientist busy at work right now, putting together a server, computer, and so he is unable to do the show this evening. So we're just going to do a quick little episode here before Get Off My Lawn starts up with Sandhill Shooter. We got about 40 minutes. I got 3 little articles to run through, and we'll go ahead and get started. I apologize for the lack of notice about this. I just decided at the last second to go ahead and do it, and our nasty severe thunderstorm has blown over. So for right now, there's no threat of a tornado, so that's good. But joining me, I got another fellow Nebraskan. Pat Hirsch is out there. Pat, how are things looking on the ground?
Not too bad. Actually, it hasn't rained all day until up about 5 minutes ago, but I swear the wind's blowing like 75 miles per hour out there, and there's trees down everywhere.
So the wife and I were out walking this afternoon, and the cold front came through. It went from 88 degrees to 72 degrees in about 5 seconds. It was freaky, man. We're out walking, and you felt this like this little burst go over, and then like the temperature just dropped instantly. And I'm in the eastern part of the state, so it was nuts, man. And then of course, that's a pretty bad sign. Things are back building, and it's going to get nasty. But yeah, we just now finally got rain for the first time all day today. But if you look at the way the storm's going, What about you guys? What's the temperature out there right now?
It's like 85 degrees, 87
Oh, it's
degrees
coming.
out
It's
today.
coming. AWAG, our storms are coming your way, man.
Yeah, and I mean, right now it's all dark outside, and it's dropped straight down to like 63.
Oh, yeah. Pat, what about you guys? Are you guys down in the 70s now? Because we were up in the 90s for the last couple days, low 90s, mid 90s.
It went from 78 to about 55 in about under 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. We've actually had trees like explode, like pop open because of the temperature fluctuations we get out here. Not here, but back west. Oh, it's crazy, man. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves, and we'll see if anybody else joins in. I gave them no notice about this. So, Pat, why don't you go ahead and just let people know a little bit about you or anything you want to share before we move over to AWAG?
Yeah, just out here in south central Nebraska, enjoying the lovely weather we're having right at the moment. And yeah, just gun enthusiast, just like the rest of the panel here.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on tonight, by the way.
Hey, no problem, man. I just want to check a Night Strike and see if we're going to do a show. And he's like, man, he goes, tied up with a server build. So it's okay. I said, all right, we'll do a little short show. We'll be done before 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock East Coast time. So that way we're not up past AWAG's bedtime. So.
Nonsense. You guys are an hour behind me, so I'm already past my bedtime.
That's right, past your curfew. So AWAG, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What do people need to know?
Howdy, I'm AWAG. Let's get this out of the way. Happy 6-9. Nice.
I don't get it.
No, that's
okay. All right. Yeah.
You can find me at AWAG1000 on YouTube. I got a bunch of gun reviews, car reviews, that kind of stuff. Every kind of review you can think of. Not quite on the Travis level yet, but I'm getting there, man. Slowly.
Getting there. That's right. Takes hard work, dedication, and no life whatsoever to do what I do as a bottom feeder YouTuber. So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So AWAG, I checked just a couple weeks ago. We had like our 3rd anniversary of when we started Caliber Corner.
Oh, cool.
So you've been with us for 3 years, man. You were like, what, 5 or 6 years old when we started doing that?
I don't even think I was like born yet,
you had Hot Wheels, like a Power Wheels you drove around and stuff. You didn't even have your driver's license yet. You know?
My goodness, it was horrible.
God, I know. If you guys want to laugh or two, go back and watch Caliber Corner 1 and 2 and 3. We had great episodes, but it's just a lot of fun stuff. The background, like my set changed like 7 times in the first month. So, but anyway, let's see who's joining real quick. Tonight's episode of Hit or Miss, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, is brought to you by SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. I want you guys to give SS Pawn a call out there in Lexington, Nebraska. They will take care of your firearms needs. Take the exit to Lexington, get off Interstate 80, stretch your legs, walk around, see what Stan has to offer, and you'll be set. That is the exit to Lexington, Nebraska, off Interstate 80. Check out SS Pawn. All right, so let's see who's joining in this evening. We got Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy over there, AWAG 1000, Travis T in the house, Derek R's out there saying, what's up? And let's see, Travis T says, busting caps from a cap gun. I know. I miss cap guns. They need to get those back into production. I really miss the good old days. When I was a kid, way before AWAG's parents were born, we had non-safety color cap guns, and they were full-size, 1-to-1 scale replicas. They were made by, I want to say, like Laramie was the company, Larami. And you can still buy them on eBay. They're collectibles now. They're actually worth a lot of money. But they were, they had like a little orange plug in the end you could pop out because the smoke would come out of the barrels. That's why we never left anything safe in them whatsoever. But yeah, I miss the good old-fashioned cap guns. So, Pat, do you remember those when you were little?
Yes, actually, I still have a pistol.
Ooh, is it the one that takes the magazine and it feeds out of the magazine? It looks like a Makarov, kind of?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's the very same one. I used to buy up a bunch of that stuff in bulk, train my hunting dogs with it just for noise. Okay.
They have like it has a magazine that tapers up into like a little stock.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
And they would take these little strip caps. They were like a straight strip of caps that you'd run through it. Now,
yeah, they were awesome as a kid.
Was that the one that would actually eject the spent caps out of the top when you were done shooting it? Didn't it cut the cap and spit it out of the top like when you pull the trigger, or not? I swear to God, they had one that did that when we were little.
I don't think mine did. I think it just came straight up and just kept going up, and it just kind of hung out the top.
There was,
when it was.
There was one that I had. I can't remember which one it was. There's one that I swear did that. I know I had the Uzi. One of them actually spit the cap strip out the front of the barrel. But I don't know, man. I think I need to pick one of those up. Those are the good old days. So anyway, so hey guys. So welcome to Hit or Miss. We want to make this a hit this evening. I've got 3 little articles that we're going to run through. Lots of good gun news. Okay, we're trying to get some positive vibe going on out there, and we've got some little stories here. So. Hey, Wyke, if you can do this, could you take the link that I have? I'm going to share with you on the internal and put that over on the YouTube side. Would you be able to do that? Are you on a computer or not?
Yeah, I'm on a computer.
Can we put that on internal? So, Pat, I'm not sure if you're running off your phone or what you're doing, but here's the first one for everybody to check out. So we're going over to guns.com, and a lot of people don't realize they actually have news over there. And it seems like everybody around Nebraska is getting a break when it comes to the gun laws, except for Nebraska. But this is it says Iowa pro-gun bill passes to the governor's desk. I'll just go ahead and screen share with everybody so you guys can see this. And you can see what's going on. So those of you that are in Iowa, not only do you guys have cheaper gas and casinos, you also have better gun laws coming your way. So good for you. I don't think that Iowa's constitutional carry yet, but maybe someday they will be. So it says the lawmakers in the Hawkeye State last week approved a measure that would help protect shooting ranges and further bar cities and counties from regulating guns. Iowa HF 2502 passed the State House 52-44 in February before clearing the State Senate 32-17 this month. It's funny how those numbers change, huh? And now heads to the Republican Governor Kim Reynolds for her review. The measure has several sections that help ensure the right to keep and bear arms. The bill prohibits county or city governments from requiring current or planned shooting ranges from jumping through zoning hoops or local ordinances that are more stringent than required by state law. And that's a good thing, because anybody that wants to try to start up a range, it's just unreal what you have to do. And I'm not surprised that you could guess we have more ranges closing up than we have being built and starting up, unfortunately, in this country. Likewise, under the measure, local governments cannot adopt any ordinance regulating the ownership, possession, transfer, transportation, registration, and licensing of firearms to include the modification of firearms. So that's cities and counties that would be subject to legal action. Moving on, when it comes to local governments implementing no gun zones in public hearings, HF 2502 stipulates that they can only do so if they made arrangements to provide armed security or police protection to ensure the safety of such buildings. Which is funny, because we keep saying, hey, if you're not going to let us carry in an area, then you need to provide security for us if we're going to go to that place if you want us to be unarmed. And here we've got the local government passing such ordinances, which is interesting. A fiscal analysis of the bill cites that a single security officer and the required screening equipment needed to protect a single gun-free building would cost at least $48,890 per building per year. Tell you what, just let me carry into the building legally, and I will do so for free. And finally, the measure bars local governments from enacting any sort of local regulation regarding the storage of guns or ammunition. while anti-gun groups such as Everytown and Moms Demand Some Action called the legislation extreme and are asking Governor Reynolds to veto the bill, HF 2502 is supported by local and national Second Amendment groups. And then it just kind of goes on with another quote. So that's not a bad thing. It's nice to hear that for once the laws are not being restricted on us. So hey, just joining us, we got a little Rich White going on. Rich, what do you know, buddy? What's going down, bud?
Hey, how's it going?
Man, we're just doing a little abbreviated hit or miss this evening. Oh man! So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel, Rich? You got a little channel that's got some firearms news on it, right?
Yeah, we do a thing called This Week Unloaded over on the Unloaded Media channel. Sunday night, start times between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. This past weekend, we were discussing Old West style rifles. Talked about some of the single shots like the Sharps and the Traptor Springfield, and we also covered, obviously the Winchester and the Henry, and we also went back and covered some of the old cap and ball style rifles as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw you guys were having an additional kind of Old West discussion this evening, which is cool, man. It's good you guys did that.
Yeah, we've done that the past few episodes. It started, we were going to do a bracket on Old West weapons, and came to my knowledge that not a lot, but a few of the panelists that were on for the bracket didn't know much about these guns. So I said we'll do like an educational thing where we discuss what the differences between them and everything were. We started with revolvers, and then we did one where we just talked in general, and then last Sunday was the rifles.
That's cool, man. Are you guys going to continue with that again this week now? Coming up?
I was thinking about that because we could talk about the shotguns.
Good. Definitely talk about the cartridges too. Like the brass cartridges versus
we did
paper.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. So anyway, that was just a little talk that we had there on what's going on over there in Iowa. So again, making it easier for shooting ranges to get opened up, always a good thing. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about too, and this is what I kept hearing on YouTube videos, and I think a lot of it is kind of clickbaity, is supposedly, Sig Sauer was going bankrupt and they're closing factories and there's all this crazy stuff going on. That's really not the situation. So we'll go back over to guns.com real quick, and it says no more German SIGs. Sig Sauer, I think it's Eckern Ford closing down. So before you freak out and worry that you're not going to be able to get your gun service, you're not going to be able to get parts, it's going to really affect us, I think, on a minimal level. It's terrible that it's happening. It's not a good thing anytime any gun factory has to close down for any reason, but the climate and the environment in Germany for a firearms factory, especially one that doesn't get the big contracts anymore, doesn't have the revenue rolling in, makes it really hard for that factory to continue operating. So I'm going to try to abbreviate this just a little bit. I'm not going to read every single detail from this article, but I put this on the internal for you guys too that are with me on the panel tonight. And if you want to chime in on this at all, just interrupt me and let me know, because I'm going to be doing a screen share here real quick. So talking about this, I don't know if you guys have heard about this in the news. You might have seen a million other channels talking about it. It says the German-based Sig Sauer branch is reportedly on the ropes due to a variety of reasons and is set to close by the end of the year. I would also say if anybody out here watching is considering buying any of those certified SIGs, say from CDNN, or you're looking at getting, a German frame, whatever, P226, P229, that you go ahead and snag it up, because, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to get a chance to, and those prices are going to go up. Not that they're necessarily superior, in my opinion, but price-wise, it's just going to be a collectible if they're not coming out of the original factory anymore, or factory.
I don't think CDNN's going to be selling them too much longer for only $4.99.
Oh, God. I know. They got a P229 and 40. I'm really considering picking one up just because I can get the 357 SIG conversion barrel for it, and then I'm good to go. Because I can't get a P229 at 357 SIG for under $1,000. That's just not. They were $5-something at one point, and then the church shooting happened in Texas, and that guy used the 229 or 229R, and then boom, all those 357 SIGs just disappeared overnight. So a little bit of hope for Sig Sauer. It says, however, since then, Sig Sauer has established extensive operations in the U.S., first in Virginia and then in New Hampshire. The American operations expanded from importing German-made guns to assembling guns with a mix of U.S. and German-made components, then finally switched to all American production. The U.S. operation boomed and by 2007 had largely separated from its German sister company and has been responsible for much of the company's R&D. And I think there were a few models that they were still manufacturing for export in Germany, but not a lot. Today, Sig Sauer employs more than 2,300 people in the U.S. and fills numerous large military and LE contracts. For example, for the P320 handgun system, which has been adopted by the U.S. military. What else do we know about it? Meanwhile, the German branch, so what's actually happening in Germany then? So meanwhile, the German branch has atrophied over the past 2 decades due to purportedly being locked out of military and police contracts in that country, and according to reports, only has 130 employees. And it talks about coming to America. Let's see here. It says Germany's other large firearms maker, H&K, has also been expanding operations in the U.S. in recent years and now has a plant in Georgia. H&K debuted a new 50,000 square foot manufacturing plant located in Columbus. Help me out here, guys. Georgia? Is that right? Is there Columbus?
Yeah, Ohio?
Ohio? Yeah, I was like, okay.
Georgia, they're in Georgia.
Okay, in September 2017, and recently announced that they were using it to prep new weapon systems as part of the U.S. Army's squad-designated marksman rifle contract. So what do you guys think about this? What do you guys – I mean, we're happy that the jobs are going to be coming to the U.S. potentially, that there's going to be more expansion in America. But if your home country is so hostile towards you, I mean, that does not make for good operations. I guess it can really disrupt things quite a bit when you've got to evacuate your country because your country's politics and just inability to fill contracts and source revenue is going to knock you out.
Yeah, I think that the Pigs planned from the beginning when they started expanding their American facilities to begin with. And like you said, you got HK now coming over too. And I wouldn't be surprised in a few years if we see them move all their production over here for the same reason SIG's doing it. It's next to impossible in Germany right now under that political climate to keep a gun company up and running because their regulations are so strict over there and what you can and can't do. It's really, really hard for them.
Yeah, I don't know. And what I'd read, there was an article that really got into the detail of, and they were talking about just basically the German government. I think they had a few shootings that had happened in Germany, and some of the guns used were Walther and H&K, and then also SIG. And there's just a lot of anti-gun sentiment over there, and that's pretty much. It's just no support. You know, they're not getting the tax breaks. They're not getting the contracts that they need is to keep the doors open, basically. Now, what was left of those employees, I think it was down to like 120 employees in Germany. They were going to be switching over to a different factory. So those employees are going to have jobs. You know, they're not losing a bunch of gunsmiths. But it's a good thing for us, I guess. But I thought it was kind of funny that they were importing more American parts than they were producing for their guns that they were using for their own domestic consumption in Germany. But hey, you know, we'll take it.
Yeah. And some of that is I did a little reading on that here a couple of days ago when they first announced that, and for their actual contracts and stuff, they were going more towards the local and regional gun guys that were there, not necessarily the international, since SIG had branched out so much overseas and had different plants and stuff everywhere. So that kind of hurt them too, you know, with them going towards more of a in-home kind of, you know, gun makers and stuff like that, not necessarily an international. So I know that hurt them a little bit too.
So does this mean that they're like, let's just say the Germans with Sig Sauer, they use. I think Sig Sauer also makes the 550 series, right? That's for Swiss contract stuff.
That's a different company. That's Sig Switzerland. That's a different company. They're related, but they're not the same company.
Yeah, there's the line that they produce. I think there's one. Don't they make that? There's a real expensive 9 that they make. It's almost like a Target grade 9. I remember.
Oh yeah,
TGC News was showing it off. What's the
P210?
Okay. Isn't that made by them? That's actually ordered in the U.S. Okay.
Yeah, but they're going to be starting to make those here, and they're coming out with an actual carry option on that too.
Okay.
So it's going to use the same barrels and everything as the Target, but they're going to be shorter, and it's going to be your basic single stack 9mm carry pistol, about the size of a Glock 19, but single stack. So it's going to be a little bit thinner, but lengthwise and height-wise, like Glock 19 size.
Okay. Yeah, man, I don't know. All right. Next little batch of news that I have going on here, and I just went ahead and put this one in the internal chat, and I'll do another screen share real quick. If you guys are in Louisiana, more good gun news for you. Isn't it kind of nice, all this great gun news that's out there? Because generally we just hear about the negative stuff and the restrictions and this and that. It says that Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards has a 4-pack of gun rights protections headed to his desk after the Republican-led state legislature passed them this week by large margins. The measures include proposals to strengthen Louisiana's firearm preemption law, loosens a ban on concealed carry permit holders exercising their rights in places of worship, and further protects gun rights in times of emergency or disaster. Edwards, a Democrat, will have to decide to sign or veto the measures, which were approved in most cases by veto-proof margins in the next few weeks. Indeed, one passed unanimously in the state Senate. So they've got 4 bills with short descriptions here. They've got House Bill 140, which girds the state's preemption law by limiting the authority of local and parish governments to ban the legal possession of a weapon, except in places already barred under state law. House Bill 334 modifies the current ban on a concealed handgun permit holder bringing their firearms with them to a church or other place of worship so long as the church leader supports such carry, which is really how I think it should be. In 2018, Edwards signed a bill easing state regulations on volunteer church security, carrying guns to protect their flock. And before we moved out here, my wife and I were very active in our church. There'd be times where I'd be singing in the church choir, sitting up in the front and just looking at it thinking, my God, if anybody came in here and nobody's armed, you've got a couple hundred people sitting in there, there's 2 narrow exits out, man, it would just be horrible. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that churches don't encourage their owners to carry. And again, unfortunately, a lot of it comes down to insurance liability for the parish itself, for the church itself. Their insurance company might not insure them if they allow carry, because a lot of times the insurance companies are in deep with the main church itself or the church headquarters, and there's one company they've always done business with. It gets really complicated, but anything that can ease the restrictions, man, I'm all for it. The next one is kind of an interesting one. I never thought about this. And those of you that live in areas that could have disasters, natural disasters, House Bill 746 recognizes the right for any person who can lawfully possess a firearm to carry concealed during a mandatory evacuation in the event of a declared state of disaster or emergency. Louisiana is hurricane prone and currently has Tropical Storm Cristobal bearing down on the state with expected landfall this weekend. This is an older article, by the way. And I mean, that's a big one, especially if you've got to bug out or you got to go someplace or you got to get through a group of people to get to your car or get your family out or away. It's safer for you to have the gun concealed where other people aren't going to see it, instead of having a bunch of people panicking, freaking out that you got a gun or wanting to come and take what's yours. What do you guys think about that one, man? What's kind of your thoughts on? I mean, that's just something I never really thought about. If you had to evacuate because of emergency, especially right now, we got tornadoes, we got hurricanes, we got murder hornets, we got earthquakes.
Yeah, pretty much. West Virginia had already passed a bill similar to that after Katrina, when they were doing their confiscations down in Louisiana, stating that in case of a national emergency, natural disaster, whatever, it is illegal for firearms in the state of West Virginia to be confiscated, and our constitutional carry law allows us to carry during those times as well.
Okay. Yeah, doesn't that constitutional carry just make it so much easier for every little applicable situation,
Mm-hmm.
God, I mean yeah. So, anywho, so that's it. And there's one more bill on that list there. There's House Bill 781. I'll just turn off the screen share for this. Likewise, removes the authority of local governments and law enforcement to regulate the manufacture, sale, and possession of firearms or ammunition during times of emergency, counting such gun industry nodes as essential businesses. Notably, in March, New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell, a Democrat, declared she could restrict such activity under citywide decree early during the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's great how these mayors and governors just, they think that they can just go ahead and toss our constitutional rights out the window. That just drives me nuts. Anytime I see that on the news, it's like, are you kidding me? First of all, I'm not going to listen to you because you're not going to protect me. And 2, it's ridiculous. Don't go there. Yeah.
Remington could have used that provision when Cuomo shut them down because of COVID.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Just authority overreach. That's all it is.
I hear you. And I got one more little thing to talk about here. More good news, Defense Dad was just here. Is he back? He bailed out. He does. If you guys check out Defense Dad's channel, he does a lot of shooting and shooting videos and stuff. And his daughter's in there, and she's pretty good with her firearms. And just thinking about getting the younger crowd into shooting and how to go about introducing your kids, right, to firearms. Those of you that have kids on the panel, what did you guys do to get the kids introduced to firearms? Because it's kind of relevant with what I'm about to show you here. Pat, what about you, man? You got children?
Yeah, actually, I've got 4 of them. Oldest is 10 years old now. I got her started shooting on a .22 Cricket when she was 7, and she absolutely loves it. And she's kind of upgraded now. She runs my Henry lever action .22 now since she's a little bit bigger. So, yeah, she absolutely loves it. We just plink it steel, and I've got one of those little roll around balls. And the next oldest is 5. He's still a little young yet to get into it because he's pretty small, but and he's not a big fan of the noise. But hopefully here in the next year or two, hopefully he'll kind of grow into that. So,
get used to it.
But yeah, it's been great. It's been great. The oldest really loves it, so I hope she keeps it up.
Cool. Defense Dad. Oh, go ahead, Rich. Yeah.
For your youngest, Pat, do you have a lever action or bolt action .22? Get some .22 shorts and that length rifle. They won't make a whole lot of noise, and they might be more able to handle the noise from a .22 short.
Less report overall. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that in the Henry because I can run the shorts in it, and he just does not like the noise right at the moment. So it's one of those things. I think he's just a little bit too young for him wise. But I think he'll grow into it because he does like to watch from the window when the little steel target is around.
Try him with an air rifle. An air rifle or an air pistol. See how he does with that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I've got BB guns.
Get through the 4th of July, and then after that, he should be able to handle about anything. So,
right.
Hey, even airsoft, you can get replica airsoft of everything. So that's an idea. A little airsoft, AR or lever gun or whatever to play around with.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I never even thought about that. That's why I'm here half the time, so I can get some ideas.
Right on. So Defense Dad is with us. Defense Dad, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick? We had you there and then we lost you, but I saw you, but I was reading an article and I just came back and saw you were with us. What's going on, man?
Oh, that's all right. Sorry about that. I caught your invitation late and then my battery was going dead. So
no, it's all good. It's all good. You want to talk for a little bit about shooting with the daughter, or just taking a young one out? How did you go about introducing your child to firearms and shooting firearms? What'd you do?
Well, I started off in the home and I showed her what I had and let her, obviously it was clear. I showed her the basics of it, let her handle it. I actually have my grandfather's old Ruger Mark I .22. So we took it out to the range and, she was a little bit apprehensive. So we started off just letting her hold it, and I held it, and she reached over and she would pull the trigger while I held it. Then she got brave and kind of worked her way. I wanted her to be comfortable with firearms. I don't want to force it on her. Okay. Then when she got to the point, she'd let me load one. She'd shoot it. That was fun. So I'd load a couple more rounds. And then it got to the point where she just really, really enjoyed it. So recently for her birthday, I purchased a TX-22 for her. And she is just enjoying it. And she's learning proper trigger control, proper muzzle awareness, and she's going to grow up being able to protect herself in the right situation and respecting firearms. That was really important to me.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's cool that you're incorporating, you're including her in the channel and stuff, and it seems like she's really enjoying it. And who knows, maybe there might be a, like trap club shooting in the future, or maybe some sort of gun team. I mean, UNL's got a fantastic women's shooting team. So who knows, man? Just down the road, there's a lot of possibility, especially if she really takes to it and is really enthusiastic about it. At that age, man, they're just like a sponge. Kids can learn how to do anything when they're little. And if they get really good at something, man, it's, you see like these little 7-year-olds playing the violin, and they're just hammering out, orchestra pieces and stuff. And you never know what a kid can do. So.
Yeah, she's all excited about me. She wants me to get a conversion kit for the AR so she can shoot it too.
This is going to get expensive. Mom's like, what do you want for Christmas? Gift card to Cabela's. Gift card to Shields card. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet. So Rich, real quick, man. Rich, you got kids?
Yes, I do.
How'd you introduce the kids to shooting? What worked for you and the family? First time you took the kids out? What?
They started with guns playing video games, to be honest.
Okay.
They would play like Ratchet and Clank series, Metal Arms, and things like that. You know, the ones that were tailored more towards younger audience at the time. And as the games grew, Ratchet and Clank grew as the kids grew, which was cool. They got more, it went from being a kids game basically with the first game to where as they got older, it turned more into a teenager game, which it progressed with them, which was good in that sense. You know, they didn't start as being super violent or anything. It's just two cartoon characters doing cartoony kind of violent stuff. You know, it was like playing a Bugs Bunny kind of game almost. And then they would see me with, we would go out and we would do some shooting and stuff. My youngest, who's 19 now, no, she just turned 20.
Oh man, dude, you're getting up there. They're gonna start calling you Rich Gray here pretty soon, I think, huh?
Anyway, she was shooting my HK USP 40 when she was 10 years old, and she's loved that thing the whole time. So that's her favorite gun. She's already claimed it as hers. If something happens to me, that's hers. Her and her mother argue about that all the time. So it's another one of my wife's favorites. My wife's favorites are that in the 627. So.
Well, here, put them in a gun trust, and now they can just check them out anytime they want them. They can have their own little armory. Just go into the armory and grab the H&K or grab the Shockwave and go take it out for a few rounds and bring it home and clean it and put it back in the vault. Yeah.
None of them have fired the Shockwave. Even my son hasn't fired the Shockwave.
Okay, that's your baby. That one doesn't get shared.
No. It's, you want to shoot it? No.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
My son bought a KSG, watched me shoot it, and then sold it. So that's just how they're not shotgun people, I guess.
All right. Well, and that's something to know now. Now you can get yourself whatever you want. Get yourself a nice Benelli. Get yourself a nice Browning, Satori. You know.
I got a Pepper 12 sitting in the.
Exactly. Cool. And so asking this question, why? Well, I just happened to see this over on guns.com. I thought this was kind of cool. Again, this is where I usually go for gun news and stuff. So it's just kind of it says tiny bolt action rim fires for the youngest plinkers. So those of you that are parents out there, get ready to pick up some fun stuff. What do we got going here? We've got the Keystone Cricket. If you've never seen them, also the Savage Rascals are a neat little bolt-action rifles, but Keystone Sporting Arms is one of the leading producers of firearms for beginning shooters. All Keystone Sporting Arms are made in the USA, though they produce other models, and their Baby Cricket bolt-action, marketed as my first rifle that has gotten many youngsters addicted to safe shooting. The Cricket is available in dozens of synthetic colors, hydro-dip patterns, both laminate and thumbhole stocks, as well as options in either blued or stainless metalwork. So we've got the, again, Keystone Cricket. We've got the Henry Repeating Arms Mini Bolt. That is freaking sweet. Check that out. Man, if I was a kid, that would have been it right there. That would have been the one to have. The company, known for lever actions, produces a pint-sized bolt action for the littlest shooters. Henry's diminutive mini-bolt single-shot 22 rimfire rifle is completely American-made with a synthetic stock available in standard black, instant orange, or muddy girl finishes. So there you go, Defense Dad.
Yeah, those Henrys are nice. They're competition quality.
Oh, man. Okay, what do we got? Stainless finish, Williams fire sights, shipped standard, fiber optic front, rear sights being fully adjustable. Mini bolt also comes drilled and tapped for scope mounting. 11.5-inch length of pull and a 16.25-inch barrel. Jeez. The mini bolt weighs only 3.25 pounds. That's, wow.
Yeah, if you got a kid that wants to get into youth shooting, competition shooting, that's the rifle right there.
That looks like a whole lot of fun.
There you go. Let's get the credit cards ready. Let's go. I don't know what MSRP $295. So I'm guessing what, $249, $275.
That's not bad. We were looking at 1022s the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my daughter is shooting.
Yeah, if you just want a plinker, go with the Cricket. If you want something that your kid can use for youth competition, the Henry is a really good one.
That is just awesome. Looks like it's almost like a straight pull design too. I'm not sure exactly how it functions, if you have to release the safety before every shot like the Crickets or not, but
that's just like a little bolt.
Okay.
Load your 22, close it.
And I got a chance to hold one of these over at the Shield Sporting Goods store. Savage Rascal, man. These things are nice. Just for such a little time. You almost feel like you just want to just keep one in your vehicle just for the heck of it, you know? Available in a rainbow of eye-catching synthetic stock color choices, the Rascal uses a 16.125-inch carbon steel barrel and an 11.25-inch length of pull to fit and attract youth shooters. The weight of the Rascal is the lightest at 2.71 pounds. It's pretty cool.
I can
attest. An trigger.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's got an AccuTrigger, which is pretty nice. Yeah.
I can attest to the accuracy of the Savage Rascal. The receiver is the same thing as a Savage Mark II, and I would honestly say that the Savage Mark II is a better option than the Rascal because, yes, you can. All it has on that is like a 1-inch longer butt pad on the end.
Okay.
And it allows for the use of detachable magazines. So if you are, I'm only 24, so, teaching a young one, you can teach them to load single rounds and then eventually graduate them to the 5-rounder, then the 10-rounder.
Mm-hmm.
The accuracy of that specific rifle is phenomenal. I take my Savage Mark II out to 300 yards practically anytime I can.
And there's a lot of variants. They got like some bull barrel versions you can get. You can get one that you can put a suppressor on. I mean, the Mark IIs are they're great.
And that's something that the kid can actually grow into as well, instead of, as they grow older to they're like 12, 13, 14, it's not going to be like squished up against their face,
Mm-hmm. Cool. Man. All right, guys. So it's 8:55 and we got to get ready for the Get Off My Lawn podcast. So again, this was a short, abbreviated hit or miss this evening, Travii Collective Edition. And we just wanted to get some news out to you real quick, have a little discussion. I want to thank the panel for being here. Real quick, we'll go ahead and get the outros from the panel. We'll see who is watching. Then I want you guys to go over to Sandhill Shooters channel where we've got a little fun discussion for this evening over on the Get Off My Lawn podcast. So Defense Dad, we'll start off with you. Anything you want to say in closing?
Well, thanks for the invite. Sorry I joined late.
No, don't worry about it. Like I said, I didn't know this was kind of a last minute thing, and I just thought, well, let's go live, man. I got a couple minutes. I'm sitting around chilling. So the tornado missed us, so that's good.
Yeah,
we got lucky. Oh God! All right. So, anywho, all right, guys, make sure you check out Defense Dad's channel. It's a lot of good stuff over there. A lot of cool reviews and some great shooting videos. Rich White, anything you would say before we go?
Yeah, if you haven't yet, go over and check out the Steven Sheets channel. He's a developmentally challenged young man who is doing his own thing over there. He's doing live shows almost constantly.
Cool, good. Yeah.
And he's got some music videos that he's done over there. He can memorize songs like you wouldn't believe. His memory is ridiculous. He's one of those savants. I think he's autistic, somewhere along that branch, and he's got the ability to just memorize anything. And
that's cool,
I think
man.
Pat
That's awesome.
was over there on his for one of his shows and saw him singing and stuff. He can sing. He's got a good singing voice. So go over and check him out. Check out some of his music videos. Another channel to check out will be Living History Comes Alive over here on YouTube. That's run by a gentleman named Drew, and he does history videos, and he does a live show every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, he does an evening show starting at 7, where he talks about he interacts with the people in the YouTube crowd. He doesn't have a guest on the show. The whole thing is where he interacts with everybody in the YouTube chat. So go over and check him out, and watch. He does do videos as well. So he's got a video. I think every day he puts out a new video history related in some manner. So go check him out too.
Let's get him promoted on Saturday. Let's get the link out there on Caliber Corner. We'll post it during the show so we can let people go check it out and get over there and subscribe to him.
All right. That's if I remember. I forgot you were going back to Saturdays as well.
Yeah. No, man. I know. I keep Friday night. I'm like, oh God, I got to set my alarm. If I ever sleep through it, it's going to be unintentional. So, oh man. All right. Also joining us this evening was Pat Hirsch. Pat, anything you would say before we go?
Just wanted to say thanks for having me on tonight. Yeah. Always a pleasure. Always good discussions. And wanted to say, Rich, bravo to you on that show, on the Sheets show. That he really appreciated it. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of cool time just sitting down watching you guys, and especially you really can't sing all that well because that one song you tried to sing. You're definitely not a country.
You got what I need. What you say?
He's definitely not a country singer.
All
I
right.
was not doing Bismarcky. No, I was doing Devil on Down in Georgia.
Oh, there you go. They're wearing down to Georgia. I'll sing along with you, man. That'd be awesome. I gotta get the voice back into.
I really wasn't singing it. I was more like rapping it. But
Oh, there you go. All right, little freestyle, little freestyle there.
The first rap song.
Nice. All right, and last but not least, the youngin, AWAG. Anything to say before we go?
Other than trying to find the unmute button.
All right, man. Yeah.
Nah, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure. I mean, it's been like 3 years. 3 years, you said?
3 years back. It was like the end of May, like May 25th or May 29th when we started doing Caliber Corner 3 years ago. So, yep.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a rough start for me, but those first few Caliber Corners, I mean, you couldn't really hear it in my voice, but I was like the most nervous wreck of a person you've ever like met in your life.
Don't worry about it, man. The more you practice it and just getting the message out there and stuff, it's good, man. It's good. You've come a long ways, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's always been a learning experience, and thanks for having me along for the ride.
No problem. I enjoy waking you up at 6:30 in the morning on Saturdays. Hey, come join me.
Yeah.
All right. So watching this evening, we got a little 7 Wonders out there, little budget guns and gear going on. Rich White, G23, M. Gabriel's out there. Scott P79 in the house. New York Outcasts. Let's see who else is watching this evening. Iron Horseman's out there. Jason Stewart's. SS Pawn's out there watching this evening. And let's see, am I missing anybody? I hope not. Philo's out there. Philo, for God's sakes, I need a mailing address. I've been sitting on your Patreon drawing package for 3 months now. Philo, come on, Philo. Just go to thecalibercorner@gmail.com. Get me a shipping address, and I will take care of you, bud. And that's pretty much about it. Blue Steel 44, 7 Wonders. Yeah, so it's been short and sweet this evening, guys. Travis T, Midnight Range TM. Mel the Nuts out there. Derek R joined in this evening. Jason Stewart's going on. All right, so get on over to Sandhill Shooters channel over there and check out the Get Off My Lawn podcast. Real quick, I have renamed my B channel, so if you have not done so, go over to Coffee, Computers, and More, and you will find my B channel. I've renamed it just to what the channel is, basically. I took my name off the name of the channel and swapped it. So Coffee, Computers, and More. Get over there, subscribe. And I talk about retro technology, computers, lots of coffee reviews, and all that stuff. If you want to get more of the Travii, go on over there and do so. So that's it. This has been Hit or Miss, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. And I think we are out. Y'all take care, have fun, be safe, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Adios, Felicia. Adios, Felicia. Te amo, Felicia. Te amo.
Stay safe. Carry your weapon.
Exactly.